Conducting maintenance on my convict cichlid pond. um this is what happened when I need to change some water. It's been a couple of months since I've actually done some water change. Yeah, I spoke to you about them recently, right? Yeah. One of the toads seems as if it just finds its way here, but I think if it goes in the water it will be eaten by the convicts. Alright, so I've actually turned off the pump, take out the bucket filter, and I'm gonna have to now go down there and search for the release hole, so as to install this little gadget in which I made a couple months, if not a year ago. I'm gonna be installing this into the hole so that when I'm releasing the water, the fish actually won't come through. Now this is gonna be an epic thing. I'm going to actually be removing all the convicts from this pond. I'm going to be placing it into this bucket. I'm going to washing the entire container. Then I'm going to be refilling it with water. Then I'm going to be placing back the fish in here. Now when I go in the pond, I'm going to find probably some of the tubes having eggs in them. So I am going to have to find somewhere to put those eggs. I'm going to have to do that very fast, because if the eggs of the fish experience too much air, they will actually spoil. Alright, so the first step is actually finding the hole. So I'm gonna have to now probably take off my shirt and go in here, find the hole, place this in the hole, and more than likely I have one or two convicts in that hole. Whether they have babies, yes or no, they have to be removed by actually just placing my finger in it and moving them physically. Then I am gonna place this there. Then I'm gonna turn on the valve, release the water, and it's gonna be a different space, right? Now, so as to prevent the fish, because it's about 100 and odd in this, right? So as to prevent them from going to a little uncomfortable situation, what I'm gonna be doing, I'm gonna be bailing out water out of here to place in this container before I release the majority of the water. This water is what I'm going to be placing the convicts when I take them out of here, in here. This is what they're going to stay in, right? Now I fill two containers with water, right? This is to put the fish in. This is to put the tubes in that might have eggs. Now when I take out the tubes, I'm going to check to see if they have eggs. If they don't have eggs, I'm going to be placing them outside, right? I'm going to wash them off at the end, and I'm going to place them back in. The ones that have egg, I'm going to have to find probably one of those ponds, make one available so as to put those in, right? This little grilly thing in which I have, this is to place over here, because they will jump if they are feeling a little bit threatened for their safety. So let's start. I have actually filled all the water in which I need to fill, right? So let's start by releasing the water, right? So the water is now being released. This will take probably about 10 minutes to actually reach to the size in which reach to the point in which I need to go in the container. Now instead of using my mesh, I'm going to be using this, which is the front of a fan. Probably you probably might not even know what is a fan. A fan is that thing where you plug in the wall and it spin and it gives you air. Probably you're used to AC, or where you're at, you don't really use fan like that, right? So I'm going to be using this to scoop up the fish, and then I'm going to be placing it in the container, right? There's a lot of them, so it will take a while. Now as the water is being released, the fish kind of surmise that something is going to happen, so they are gearing up to start hide. Now some of them are too large to go into some of the tubes, but they are still congregating around the small tube to force them in. I'm now going to be going inside as best as possible to try to get some of them. And as the water release, now the water is being released slowly, because the valve thing in which I have just shown you a while ago, the gadget, it allows the well, it kind of strain the water. So whenever a lot of gunk or mess is in it, the water flow through it will be a little bit slower than normal. Alright, so as you can see, my convict cichlids, I really have some large ones, right? I've been trying for the past 2 years to sell some, but even although I'm saying I'm selling them cheap, but persons are just not loving them that much, right? But I like them still, so I just keep them, right? I mean, I could have given them away. Alright, so I'm going to be going in. Actually trying to catch some of these. I'm actually trying to catch some of these convicts. They are hiding, and they know they would be airlifted in the container, and this will be guys. Look how they big. Lift up now, my yacht. Underneath this. So as I said before, they are hiding in the tubes, right? So as I check the tube, and there is no egg, I just throw it to the side, right? And take another tube up and drop out. So there are some eggs. Look in there. There are some eggs in here. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep these eggs, but I'm gonna rest them into the bucket there. See the eggs? The eggs are right there, so along the siding, right? So I'm gonna place it in that container. Alright. So I continue this process for a while. No eggs in this. I like these convicts. You can actually see the cock on the top of the head. It could really soft and nice, really awesome. This would do really good in an aquarium, right? So this is the space of for my convict cichlids. Pond have been washed. I'm not gonna scrub it down with scrubbers and to get out all those stuff, because it has the beneficial bacteria along the sides, right? Because beneficial bacteria maintain occupation on the side of aquariums and ponds, right? So when it reached probably about the first line, that's like about there, and I start to place the convicts back in, right? And then when I reach probably over the pump, right, pump about this side, then I plug it in, right, and they will have the aviation. A point to note before we reach all there, right? I will not be, well, I'll be placing these container, these piping back in, but I'll be using aquarium safe water to wash them off just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. And it seems as if there was some amount of tubifex worm in it, right? Ants is actually going for the tubifex worm, and these are biting ants, and they bite really hot, right? So tubifex worm, ow, so tubifex worms are actually consumed, well, being consumed by the ants, biting ants, black biting ants, right? And these are my fish. The population of my convicts have actually dropped because of neglect. I have not been changing the water. I know that I had about 100, but I still have about 100, probably about 110. But I had a little bit more, and some of them have been dying recently, and that is what actually pushed me to actually do some water change. Water have not been changed in this space. Well, the water have been changed, but have not been the space have not been washed out for the past about 4 or 5 months. Right, I have actually done some water change in the last 2 months, but not 100% water change. Right, I did these a few weeks ago, although the water is green, but I did some amount of maintenance on this. Right, so I just sit there and wait. It's an issue with the bottom part of the tote. Whenever water actually touches this section, it rots, and so over time all the frame will actually rot and give way. So I am gonna have to be very careful now. Well, after a while these will be thrown away anyway, because you know you're gonna actually improvise using modernized methodology, and so we don't know what might happen in the near future with regards to these totes, right? But it's a lot of rotting. You know, when I release water from here, it bounces on here and all of that rotten out, right? Yeah, you know, it's stay bad. So I have to be catching on boards and blocks to ensure that I get a certain amount of level and the bottom is not like falling down. Right, so I did that a while ago. Right, I have some really huge convicts. Wow, they are such a beauty. I think I might take out two, place into one of my aquariums inside, probably with my dove eye, red devil, or with my jaguar cichlid. We see what happens, because they really look cool with the cock on the head, and you know, it's a really look cool fish. So we see what happens then. With you that this is the device or the makeshift valve that I use so as to, you know, place into the hole and bite in the people. Place into the hole so that the fish don't really go out in the yard, right? It's really messy, gunk from the fish space. So I'm gonna have to pull this apart, take out the mesh, wash it, and place it back in storage for future use. Alright, so I'm gonna be doing that as soon as I'm finished doing some work on this tote here. So these are some of my convicts. I'm gonna take out two of the larger ones, probably keep them inside just as a showpiece, and yeah, place them remained in space. There's a lot of things I realized. One, some of the black ones that was a spawn with, as a result of, like these, as a result of my polar blue, I no longer see them since as if they died. I want at least two of the large ones to go inside. Here's my polar blue. It is now living with the big boys. So that's how I go about changing my Convict Cichlids water. Some of these big boys, like this one, is a beauty, right? I'm going to be placing into an aquarium indoor. Right, it's amazing how right here opens. You actually can see, like, it's really old. It's a really old fish. Right? Really old fish, a really old convict cichlid. So I'm gonna take a few, probably about two of them. I can't place them into that container because that container having egg. So I am gonna try as best as possible to catch the remaining. Alright. I see a few of them, like the eyes are like white. It's as if they're blind in one eye. I see about two of them like that. To show you that there is some amount of aggression. And as I shared with you in another video before, the female convicts normally have the red marking on the side, right? Whether it is the gray and black one or the pink convict cichlid. So this is a female, right? I would not have placed convicts smaller than these in this pond, or else they're gonna be hurt. There's another female, right? They'll be hurt by the larger one. So I have roughly 3 beauties. I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna place into an aquarium indoor. And only aquarium fish that I actually consider my pets, I actually name, and I've been naming these three, the 3 musketeers. Alright, so that is it for now. Alright, so I'm gonna get the water to be beaten on the top so they can have a little oxygenation before the pump is actually turned on. Put a board there. Allow the water to beat on the surface. When it reaches to a particular height, I will actually place the tubes in. Matter of fact, I can actually start place the tubes in, you know. What I need to do is just to rinse them off. What I do, rinse off the tube in the pond water that they were removed from. That was removed from the pond. So they now compete for the different tubes that are going to be placed in. Now, what will happen if I place these tubes back in there is that all the eggs that are in the tubes will actually be consumed. And what you find is that the couples that lay the eggs, they might end up going to, you know, they might not find each other. That's a different situation. Different situation. So you're going to have different couples actually coming about as a result of the changing of the guard. Should I say changing of the water, right? The 2 is still in here. Well, the 3 still in here. Water will be provided for them. Yes, I am kind of washing everything in there. They are good. They should be fine. They should be fine. They should be fine. Right? I'm actually washing. Don't want to make it too clean. And if they were in an aquarium, you know that they would be a little bit larger.